How's it going, everybody? Combo here. Today we got 5 quick tips with the LH1, and man, do I gotta say, I don't have any kind of love-hate relationship with any other weapon in this game than I do with the LH1. Sometimes I hit all my shots and I feel like an absolute marksman. Other times I miss literally everything and want to break a chair over my head. Hopefully by the end of this video you won't feel the same way. So yeah, don't want to hold you here forever. Let's get right into it. Starting things out at number 1 with what I believe to just straight up be the most important part of using the LH1, that being shot pacing. This thing can output an absolute ton of damage, but that doesn't really matter if you're missing every shot. So if I just kind of shoot at this wall right here and I don't control the recoil, as you can see right here, I am damn near at the ceiling. This thing also goes a little bit left to right, but for the most part the recoil is pretty vertical. However, when you're trying to do this at these longer ranges, as you can see right here, if I'm just firing at max speed, I can hit my shots, but as I get deeper in that magazine, you're just missing shots. So as you get further away, you just want to slow down your rate of fire. So right here, as you can see, if I just slow it down a little bit, I can keep my grouping pretty much in the exact same place. Now I am slightly holding down when firing that, but as you can see right here, I have a perfect grouping. Now if you're within like, I don't know, 5 to maybe even 10 meters, you can go with that max rate of fire, and as you can see, you can even hit all headshots. However, as I said, it's really important as you get to those longer ranges. As I said, you certainly can hit shots, but as you can see right here, that gets kind of crazy. If you just pace your shots, as you can see right here, it's going to be much more consistent, and I promise you, this thing does a ton of damage. Don't worry about killing people quick. If you hit your shots, you're going to take them out. Next up at number 2, we have less of a how to do something and more of a do not do this because you are going to fail miserably. That being hip firing. Now this game has a ton of weapons with great hip fire, but as you can see right here, even standing still, the hip fire reticle on this thing is huge, and if I move, holy crap, look at this, I'm barely, like part of my shots aren't even going to hit this target, and the second I start firing, look at this. My shots are going around him, as you can see right there. Now granted, there is one instance. If I am right in somebody's face like this, go ahead and hit fire. But even then, if targets are moving, you might miss shots. Even distances like this is probably too far. As you can see, that took me like 10 rounds. If I just aim down sights, even though I'm gonna move a little bit slower, one, that gives me the ability to go for headshots, and I'm not gonna miss. Even if I'm hitting them all in the body and I'm taking more damage, at least I'm hitting my shots. Because from these ranges, look at this. Oh my god, 15 rounds from that close, and I missed. So please, 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 if you're gonna use this thing, and unless you are literally barrel stuffing someone like that, just aim down sights. I promise it's gonna make your life easier, and you just need to be consistent with this thing. Next up at number 3, we have another do not. I know, this video is kind of weird. It's like normally you're looking for tips on how to do things. I'm telling you not to do things. This one being in-air gunplay. Now, as we talked about with the hip fire, the recoil spread on this thing when you are hip firing is terrible, but when you go in the air, oh my god, look at that. Especially if I start shooting, look at that. That thing is just, that's horrible. I mean, that looks like literal Swiss cheese, like not in the good way either. Like that is terrible. Well, something to note is most weapons, like if you're in the air and you're aiming down sights, it doesn't translate, but with this weapon, it does. So I'm gonna shoot a few rounds, as you can see right here. I'm gonna aim right there. As you can see, actually, it's probably better if I just do it on the ground. So I'm gonna shoot. As you can see, that one's there. Jump, shoot at the same point. As you can see, there is quite a bit of bullet deviation, and I'm shooting at the exact same point every single time. So when you're using this thing, just do your absolute best to stay grounded, because as you can see right there, if you're jumping around shooting your shots, you're gonna have a ton of bullet deviation, and you're gonna lose a lot of gunfights that you might have won if you just kept your boots on the ground. So once again, don't jump around. It's not an SMG. This thing is very unique, so just keep your boots on the ground and you'll have a lot more success. Moving on to number 4, we have optimal takedowns. Now this is really important with this weapon, and it goes perfectly with number 1. As I discussed, the most important thing with this weapon is slowing yourself down, not panicking, and just hitting your shots. Because you do a ton of damage, which I will put the damage numbers on screen right now, as long as you're hitting your shots, you will win basically every gunfight, assuming you're not in the open and getting shot by like 3 people, because you're a light. Okay, anyways, to the actual tip now. If I fire 3 rounds into a medium target in the head, that will be enough to take them out. So I'll show what that looks right here. If I'm looking at this medium target, 1, 2, 3, as you can see right there, that's enough to take them out. On light targets, it's going to be 1 to the head and another 1 to the head. Now, as you can see right here, you're probably saying, what's that about? If I shoot him in the head and the body, you can see he has barely any health left. Typically, if they're injured with literally anything, go for a headshot and go for a body shot. But most of the time, as I said, headshots are important. But with lights, as you can see right here, it only takes 4 body shots to take them down. And if they're damaged, it only takes 3. Going for headshots on lights can be a bit difficult, so just go for what's going to take them out most consistently. Anyways, moving on to the heavy, and I think this is where this weapon shines the most. It's only going to take 4 headshots, as you can see right here. Something I like to do, it doesn't always work in my favor. If I sneak up on a heavy, hit them with a stun gun, for example, they can't move, pull out this thing, as you can see right here, 4 headshots. You don't even have to shoot it as fast as I'm showing right there. As I showed off in number 1, consistency is your best friend. Even at a super slow rate of fire right there, 4 shots is still a very fast time to kill. So once again, 3 for the medium, 1 headshot, 1 body shot for damaged lights, 5 body shots, or actually 4 body shots, I have dyslexia, for a light player, and finally for those heavies, it's going to be 4. Try to keep those numbers in mind because it is going to make a big difference, especially if you're going for headshots. And finally, at number 5, and perhaps the biggest skill gap between LH1 users, we have the ability to use this thing at range. And I say that for 2 reasons. Firstly, just hitting anything at super long ranges with a weapon that doesn't have a very long magnification scope is difficult. Also, the sight on this thing, especially the rear sight aperture, which is the big circle, likes to move around like crazy, especially if I dash. As you can see, it just does whatever it wants. However, and someone in the comment section can correct me if I'm wrong on this, it feels like this thing has no damage fall off. So if we're looking at this heavy target right here, if we fire our 4 shots, or maybe 2 to the body, as you can see right here, we can hit our time to kill from about 20 meters with no sweat. However, if we go further back to this jump pad, I want to say this is about double the distance. As you can see right here, a headshot still goes for the same thing with those 2 body shots, we're doing about the same damage. And if we go all the way back here, which I don't even know how far this is kind of ridiculous, especially with how dark it is. I can barely even see what I'm shooting at. The sight kind of blends in here. I'm actually gonna use this wall to like level where I should be aiming. Aim assist stop. As you can see right here, that's a body shot, maybe up a little bit. Oh, bam, money. We can still hit that same time to kill. Wow, that was perfect. 3 headshots and 2 bodies. So it feels like this thing has absolutely no range fall off. If you're gonna use it at those longer ranges, like that far, I probably wouldn't recommend it because you're probably not helping your team. But just know, this thing doesn't have much damage fall off, if any. So use it at those longer ranges if you practice, and I promise you will be rewarded. Anyways everyone, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, as well as with what weapon you want to see next. I've been doing a lot of community polls lately. I think the next weapon I might do is the heavy grenade launcher, but if there's a bunch of requests for something else in the comments, I will more than happily change my plans and do that. Really guys, I think you should give this a try. This weapon is really, really strong if you know what you're doing, and definitely catches people off guard. But anyway, I'm not going to hold you here forever, as I say every time, but mean it more and more. Thank you for the support, it keeps me going. Anyway guys, this has been Combo. Thank you so much for coming and watching, and yeah, peace out everybody, later.